Hi everyone! Welcome to X-Raised, where knowledge meets inspiration in the intricate dance of industry evolution. My name is Miles, and I'm so glad to have you here. Buckle up because this one's going to be a masterclass in leadership evolution. Our guest today didn't just climb the corporate ladder, he practically rewrote the instruction manual for it. For over 3 decades, he played power moves in the C suite across the globe, serving in CEO, CFO, and VP roles, leading business transformation in over 100 countries. From steering billion-dollar teams to now coaching today's and tomorrow's most influential leaders, he's on a mission to turn potential into performance and self doubt into strategic brilliance. He's the founder of Leading Insights, where executives don't just get coached, they get clarity, presence, and the kind of edge that turns high performers into high impact change makers. So, yes, he's got the titles executive coach, board member, CPA, graduate in executive coaching, but above all, he's someone who gets it because he's been there, led that, and is now paying it forward in the most empowering way. Here's the founder, the CEO, and executive coach at Leading Insights, Azhar Syed. Hey Azhar, welcome to X-Raised.
Thank you, Miles. My God, that's a fantastic introduction. I'm impressed with myself now.
Well, it's all it's all about you, and I've got to say your journey is one part leadership, one part insight, and a whole lot of transformation. And today, Azhar, we're getting into the real story behind it. Thank you so much for being here. So, how you're helping executives unlock their full potential. After 3 decades in global executive roles, Azhar, you shifted from the boardroom to the coaching room. So, what inspired that transition, and how did Leading Insights come to life from that decision?
Miles, thank you very much for asking me that. And well, as you know, that I started my career as a CPA, worked with Ernst& Young, Pricewaterhouse, and then worked with this global international company, Tetra Pak, in variety of roles and moved around in different parts of the world. And I enjoyed what I did there. Uh, when I was moving back to US, particularly to Dallas, after 30 years of working in different parts of the world, at that time I realized that what I really want is to continue working for as long as I live. And I
Mhm.
realized that in the corporate world, that is not possible. I have been fortunate enough that I have got coaches provided by the company many times in my life. I spoke with one of my coach after having a couple of discussions. I realized that what I really enjoy most throughout my career is developing people, helping other people to grow. I've been on the global mentoring program. I was specifically working on the women in leadership program, mainly because I was also quite interested in helping my own four daughters to grow and achieve something big.
Mhm.
And after having those discussions, I realized that if I want to do that, I should prepare myself properly. So even though I was heading a very important corporate role, I went back to school and
Ah.
did my postgraduate program in professional coaching and leadership. In fact, that changed my own leadership style.
Mhm.
And I have been an authoritative leader throughout my life because I have done it all. So I can tell people and solve their problems. But instead, I adopted a coaching style which is much more empowering, that reduced my own stress level, but also it helped my team to grow faster.
Ah.
And 4 years back, I decided to leave the corporate world and started my own practice. So now I work 100% as a coach,
Yeah.
and leading insight is one of the product output of that. Uh, so here I am.
It's just fascinating how sometimes the most powerful moves come not from climbing higher, but from digging deeper into purpose, impact, and legacy. And that shift from corporate as our being a CPA to coaching speaks volumes about your why. And with such a rich background across 100 countries, how has your global leadership experience shaped the way you coach today's senior executives and high potential leaders?
Well, one of the advantage that I have is that since I have lived their life, I have been there what they are going through now.
Uh-huh.
So it's much more easy for me to understand their current situation. and coach them much more easily. Uh, One of the things that really helps me is my own coaching approach. That being
Mhm.
a corporate executive, I want to get to the point very quickly. I'm very direct, straightforward, and when I work with my clients, I provide them the honest feedback. And many times they have not getting that feedback. And once they see different perspective, it becomes easier for them to act.
There's definitely something powerful about advice that comes wrapped in real world experience. I mean, leading across 100 countries, Azar, that's a lot. That's not just coaching with perspective, that's coaching with altitude. And you also emphasize emotional intelligence and self awareness alongside strategic thinking. Why do you see this as the pillars of modern leadership success?
Well, one other thing that I see, which I have done that as well, that working hard help you to be successful. And of course, it makes a huge difference. So instead of working 40 hours, if you work 60 hours, you will go ahead. But that is not enough. And it's not only about your functional expertise, it's not only about your technical expertise. Of course, those are required, but
Uh-huh.
those are the things which will open the doors. For you to succeed and go far, you need to understand people. And emotions are very,
Yeah.
very important. And emotional intelligence, I have done a lot of studies on that since when I was corporate in the corporate world, but also now when I'm a coach, I do that quite a lot. And this really help us to understand our own emotions, our own motivations, what trigger those emotions. And once we understand that, we are able to make better decisions rather than being overwhelmed by those emotions. At the same time, at high level of emotional intelligence, you are able to understand other people's emotions, that what they
Correct.
are going through. Are they frustrated? Are they angry? Are they upset? Once you understand those emotions, you are able to work accordingly and stay on the path. It's not
Mhm.
about manipulation, it's about helping other people. We are able to communicate more effectively. And effective communication is the key to influencing other people and also understanding other people's perspective. And based on that, maybe I will change my own opinion and solutions.
Yeah. Well, by understanding this, effective communication is right there. And strategy might win the game on paper, but self awareness, that's what wins in real time. It's people and their emotions that matter a lot in this space, Azar. So it's great to hear how you help leaders bridge that often forgotten gap between what's in their head and what shows up in the room. So let's talk outcomes. What kind of transformation do your clients typically experience after engaging with you and leading insights?
Well, one important thing is about difference between coaching and mentoring. I've been doing mentoring for many, many years, and it's very effective. It's about sharing your wisdom from your experience so that other people can learn, and it's very useful. But on the other hand, coaching is much more about helping people to think about themselves, who they are, what they know, what their strengths are, what are their blind spots. And once they understand their current situation better, they are able to set the targets for themselves, which are meaningful for them. So the goal that they set are ambitious, but at the same time realistic. And once it's become clear to them that who they are, what they know, what resources they have, and what they want to achieve, it becomes easy to find the customized strategy that works for them. So rather than I'm telling that you do this, you do that, they are able to figure it out through coaching,
Yeah.
understanding where they want to go, and thereby what resources that they deploy so that they can take the next step. And
Mhm.
that's the foundation of the transformational change. So
Yeah.
it comes from within, and therefore they are highly motivated to do something about it and keep moving towards what they really want to do.
Mhm. I appreciate that. I appreciate you clarifying the difference between coaching and mentoring. That's what actually business leaders really want to understand, right? Not just how will this make me feel, but how will this make me better? And your answer paints that beautifully, Azar. Strategic clarity and executive presence. I think that's a dangerous combo, but in a good way, in the best way. And before I let you go back to your work, in your view, what are the biggest blind spots senior leaders face today, Azar, and how does your coaching help bring those into focus?
Well, there are themes arising as I talk more with my clients. I've done now over 3,000 sessions with over 500 senior executive. There are a few things that comes over and over again. One is much more about that we are in a situation, I'm working hard, but I'm not getting through. And that breakthrough comes when they realize that it is not good enough to just work hard. They need to identify that who are the key stakeholders, what do they
Mhm.
really want, and finding ways to deliver that. So that is one thing that comes up. And once they do that, they get that breakthrough. The other thing that comes up is that I'm doing all the important things, but people do not take me seriously. I do not have that executive presence. When I want to speak, people are just talking. So, how can you get that executive presence that when you enter into the room, people know that you will contribute something and they will listen to you? That is another subject that comes up quite often. The other things is about conflict. People avoid conflict, whereas conflict is an opportunity to find fantastic solution, which are win-win solution. So rather than avoiding conflict, how can we embrace them and communicate effectively so that we understand that what other people need, what are their real challenges, so that we can do something about it. So these are few of the things that comes up quite regularly. Emotional intelligence is another one. So these are the things that people bring up to the coaching table, and they find new insights that motivate them to do something and to see significant change in the way they work from there on.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that, Zar. That's such a strong takeaway. You don't just help people see the blind spots, you help them own them. And in today's landscape where complexity is the norm, that's a real leadership superpower, I must say. So, Azar, thank you so much for sharing your insights, your journey, and for showing us from the inside out is powerful and transformational, especially having that strong emotional intelligence. Thank you so much for your time.
Miles, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. It's really very nice talking to you.
Yeah, I hope to have you back. I mean, I learned a lot from you in just such a very short time. Thank you so much, Azar. So, whether you're preparing for your next executive role or navigating complexity at the top, or maybe just trying to figure out what's next, Leading Insights is built for people like you. So, go ahead and connect with Azar through his website, leadinginsights.us. And that's a wrap on this episode of X Raised. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one. This has been your host, Miles. Stay focused and inspired with X Raised.